Welcome to the Republican Talk Show, everybody. I am your host, Kenneth Glenn, and today I come to you with sad news. This is something that I never thought would have ever happened. This is something I never thought I would ever be making a video on, but it happened, and I can't believe it happened. This doesn't even seem real to me. At 3 p.m. on September 10th, I was woken up. I was called by a family member of mine, and I was told that Charlie Kirk was shot. And when I heard that, I kind of had a oh no, that's not good reaction. I'm like, okay, whatever. Let's look at the news. And then I watched the video, and it is a deep, disgusting, graphic video of a man dying. I watched that video, and my first thought is, Charlie's gone. And Charlie Kirk's a big influence on my life. He's the reason why I got into politics. Back in 2020, I read his MAGA Doctrine book that he released, and it was just from there on, that's me now. I'm a very political person. I've studied politics ever since. And so this is extremely sad for me. This is the guy that influenced me to get into politics. Now, obviously, I don't agree with everything now. If you've watched me throughout the last year, you can kind of see that I'm kind of leaning away from your typical conservatism, your typical whatever. I call it normie conservatism. I kind of leaned away from that I'm a lot farther right than I used to be. You know, if you watch a lot of my older videos from 4 or 5 years ago, you'll definitely see that. I'm a lot farther right now. But Charlie Kirk's the one that got me in the door. He's the one that built that bridge in the first place. If it wasn't for him, there's no politics. There's no interest. I don't care about politics outside of that. I've always been a Trump supporter. I've been a Trump supporter since day one, basically. I'm like, that was the guy in wrestling. So I was big supporter of Trump. But Charlie was the one that really got me interested in politics and debate. And to watch a guy that influenced me so much in my life just have his life taken in front of him, have his life taken from him, excuse me, and his life ended in front of his children. I don't know. I can't describe the feeling. I can't explain it. It's not a feeling that humans are... I don't think... This isn't a feeling that is natural. I don't think. So I feel like it's clear that in God's design, this was not his design for us. Because when you watch Charlie Kirk get shot, it's just... You can't even describe the feeling. Now, obviously, some piece of crap sociopaths on the internet have been celebrating Charlie Kirk's death for some reason. I'm not sure why. And this is a wake-up call for us. This is a big wake-up call. These people hate us. If they are celebrating Charlie Kirk dying, they would definitely celebrate me dying. Because I'm a lot farther right than Charlie was, you know. So they would love it to see you die. They would probably love seeing your brother die, your kids die, whatever. They obviously hate us. And it's clear. It's not all of them, obviously. There are good people on the left, obviously. Dean Withers, a person that I think, at first I didn't think he was a great person. But seeing him on video, crying, really opened my eyes to that and kind of changed my perspective on the guy. And I really appreciated what he did there. Though I do kind of think that his rhetoric is dangerous, and he's sort of responsible for this. I've always thought that the left's extremist view on everyone's Hitler and everyone's evil and racist or whatever is a leading factor in people getting shot. I said that that's the reason why Trump got shot last year on July 13th. And so we got to be careful of how we treat people. We got to be careful how we are talking about people. But I did really appreciate what Dean Withers did there. So we caught the assassin, allegedly. At first, we saw this guy. There was some old bald guy they caught in the crowd. And then they arrested him. But within, like, a few hours, they were like, this guy isn't the guy. And I knew it wasn't the guy instantly. I rolled out of bed, and I started doing my research on it. I saw the video of Charlie getting hit. I saw the video of the guy getting arrested. I looked him up. I looked through his social media. I knew within minutes, I'm like, this guy didn't kill Charlie. There's no way. So they caught that guy originally. They let him go, I'm assuming. And then we finally got the real guy that did it. I guess he admitted to doing it to his youth pastor. He admitted to killing Charlie Kirk to his youth pastor or his dad or something. So super sad. Charlie Kirk writes about this in his college scam book, by the way. His college scam book is one of the best books ever written, by the way. If you haven't read it, you really should. If you're in high school, you should definitely be reading it. It should be a mandatory read for everybody in high school. And it will question you whether or not you actually really want to go to college. Do you really want to go to college? Do you really want to take that step in life, or do you want to do something else? But in chapter 7 of the college scam book, it talks about how colleges radicalize people towards violence, and they have done that for a very long time. It's chapter 7, so if you're interested, check it out. You can get the college scam anywhere on the internet, Amazon, Kindle, I believe. And read the book. It's a good book. I tried to donate the college scam book to a local school of mine, actually, and they rejected it, obviously, because how do you go forward from reading the college scam? You really can't argue with it. So go check that out. You really should. I think it's a great read. I think it's one of the best books ever written. And honestly, it's kind of sick. This is a wake-up call. This assassination should be a wake-up call. Not only that this is how easy it is for us to be killed, and how we should take everything as a blessing, really. When you see your family, when you see your loved ones, we should see that as a blessing, because it really shows you how fragile life is. It takes a moment like this for you to really have that wake-up call. And not only that, but our enemies, the enemies of our movement, the left, their response to this was absolutely disgusting. There's one guy in the crowd that are like cheering, like jumping up and down. There's people chanting. There's one, I saw a guy had a megaphone. He was going, "We got Charlie in the neck." Like, that's disgusting, dude. I want to, like, choke that guy out. You know what I mean? Dude, like, I want to grab that guy by the neck. You know? I'm not going to, obviously, but it makes me wanna. It's disgusting. There's some black guy at Charlie Kirk's rally, and as soon as at the debate, and as soon as Charlie gets shot, he like jumps over the fence and starts stealing hats. Like, that's very in character for those people. Isn't that something? Some people out here were actually trying to use Charlie Kirk's quote. He said that it is worth it to have some gun deaths a year to keep our Second Amendment. He said something along those lines. I'm not directly quoting him, but he did say that it's worth the trade-off to have some gun deaths a year to keep our gun rights, and I completely agree, because if you look at the statistics, guns save more lives a year than they take. I think they take around like 50,000, and they save about 500,000, so I think the trade-off is great. And I think the more guns out there are, the more lives we save and the less lives are taken. And I'm a firm advocate of that. I want that to be very clear. Very pro-gun advocate. I'm a very pro-gun person, and I think that guns are very important to have. I think hot take, I think if everybody had a gun, mass shootings wouldn't happen. It'd be a lot harder to shoot places up if everybody was armed at all times. So I think guns are great. Guns are necessary for America. It is the only thing that keeps our rights that keeps us our rights. If it wasn't for the Second Amendment, none of the other amendments would stay in the Constitution because it'd be much easier to overturn those. As I've said in the past, violence is the only real currency on the planet. And what I mean by that is that you can have all the money you want in the world, you can own whatever you want, but at the end of the day, someone puts a gun to your head, their life is in your hands and there's nothing you can do about it. So violence, the threat of violence is the ultimate currency. So that's why I think guns are important for everybody to have. Because if you don't have a gun, if you don't have a way to defend yourself, you don't have anything really. So this is sad. There's a couple weird things about this situation. There's a book written about this, I guess, on Amazon. There is a book that was published on September 9th that deeply describes the Charlie Kirk shooting. Now, I don't know whether or not there's anything to it, if there's a conspiracy around it, or if it was a genuine accident. I don't know. I can't prove it, so I'm not going to really get into details of it. My only thing I'm going to talk about that is I do think it was weird that it was published on September 9th, seeing as it would have taken... And I also think it was weird how quickly that book was released. It was like a 70-page book deeply describing everything that had happened during the Charlie Kirk shooting. And in order to get all those like eyewitness interviews, to write the book, to publish it, to look through all the mistakes you may have made throughout it, and get it up there, it would have taken at least like multiple days. It would have taken at least 3, I feel like. So I think it was weird to see that get released so quickly to the point where it's like there was an error and it said it was on the 9th. That was what I think was weird. And even weirder on top of that is that the book actually got taken down, so that was also very interesting. I kind of want to figure out who was behind the book. I kind of want to see that. Because that's just a little alarming. Charlie Kirk allegedly was fearing for his life, according to multiple sources. He was scared that he was going to be killed if he was outspoken against Israel. And as we all know, Charlie Kirk has been a very big advocate for Israel. He's even said things that I completely think are evil, borderline evil. I don't want to get too far into this. I don't want to make this an anti-Charlie Kirk video. But he has said things that are borderline evil when it comes to Gaza. And to see him all of a sudden kind of switch a little bit is kind of interesting. To see that those accusations were out a couple months ago. In August, that's when it first came out that Charlie Kirk was fearing for his life, and then now he's not with us anymore, so that's not good. Not sure if it has to do anything with it, or if it was just a coincidence or whatever. So that wasn't great. As we all know, Charlie Kirk, though being a big Israel advocate, he is kind of based when it comes to Jewish people in the country. He was very big critic when it comes to Jewish connection to liberalism and BLM and all that stuff. So he was pretty based when it came to that. And Charlie Kirk also was a big advocate to get the Epstein files released. He didn't buy the nonsense, the same nonsense that like Misfit and Ben Shapiro bought. He wants the Epstein files released. He kept pushing it and pushing it and pushing it until his death. So that was super cool to see. Unapologetically asking for those Epstein files. And by the way, the same day Charlie Kirk was shot, the government was voting on it, and all the Republicans voted against releasing the Epstein files once again. So that's interesting, something to think about. There was a jet. There's another thing. There's a jet that took off about 20 minutes away from Charlie Kirk after he was shot. And like 30 minutes after, it took its flight. And if you track the flights of this plane, there's only been 2 so far this year, at least that we know of, that are recorded. So that's super interesting. Not sure what that may have to do with anything, because we already got the killer, so I'm not sure if that has anything to do with... I don't know what that has to do with anything, but I do think that was a very interesting thing, that a plane took off. A private jet, of all things, took off, and it's only 2 flights so far this year, was arriving to that airport and then taking off from that airport, because it's September. It's September, and this guy doesn't fly his private jet all year long. It's kind of weird. But anyways, we got to pray for Charlie Kirk's family. We really should be. We should be helping all we can. Monetarily, I don't know if they have a GoFundMe or a fundraiser going on for Charlie Kirk. But this is deeply sad. I'm sad. And I don't know. I really don't have many more words to say about this situation. It's disgusting what we're seeing. And we need to pray for Charlie's family. We need to pray for the shooter's family. And we really should pray for the people that are laughing about Charlie dying. As disgusting human beings as they are still God's children. They are still loved by our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. So we should pray for them as well. As much as it sucks, as angry as we get at these people, we really should pray for them. And I know it kind of goes against human nature to do so, but it's necessary. It's part of our duty as Christians. So we should pray for them, pray for Charlie, pray for their family. Do what you can to support them, donate to them. There's new t-shirts coming out. My wife just bought one. My wife bought one of the Charlie Kirk t-shirts for his death, so looks pretty good. So yeah, I don't got really much more to say about this situation. All I want to say is, if you are conservative, if you support Trump, or if you're like me and you don't support Trump, and if you are on the right side of American politics, you should watch Charlie Kirk's video. I'm not going to show it in this, obviously. I'm not going to show it. But you should go out. You should watch it. This should make you angry. Get angry. Get involved in politics. Because at the end of the day, as much as we should pray for our enemies and stuff, these guys are still our enemies. And we cannot let these people win. We can't let these people win. We can't let these people get their way. Because when they do get their way, and if they do win, they might be doing the same thing to all of us. So we can't do that. We can't let this happen. And watch the video, get angry, get involved in politics, push, fight, spread the word. And anyways, that's all I got for you guys today. Hope you liked the video, guys. Please leave a comment, subscribe for more. And I will see you guys later, hopefully in a better light. I think I'm going to do a reaction video tomorrow about Charlie Kirk. I'm going to do his best moments, greatest moments, and stuff like that to honor his life. I think that'd be a good way to start off this channel again. Anyways, see you guys later. Peace.